Peace to the earth and the world. Peace to everybody and peace to earth. One love for you. How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good, staying out of trouble, trying to take care of yourself. And if you have kids, I hope you're doing the right thing with the kids. Remember, kids don't like drama. They like to have fun. They don't like problems. They just like to have fun and enjoy themselves. Just to let you know, y'all want to talk about Reading. You want to know how Reading is? Reading is a good place and it's a quiet place. It's just the city don't want to fix nothing up, like the mayor. The mayor from Reading, PA, Berks County, he don't want to fix nothing up. He don't want to fix the sidewall. The sidewalls are mostly all broken up and everything. They all messed up. Some of the streets are messed up and everything. That's what I can tell you about Reading, PA. We got a lot of things going on in Reading that everybody's talking about. There's a lot of drug users. There's a lot of people with mental problems in Reading, and that's not true. Mostly some people that have mental problems and using drugs, that have drug habits. That some of them, they say they're trying to get help and programs and all that and stuff like that. In Reading, PA. You know what I'm saying? And they go to these programs, and these programs, as long as they're doing, they in a program. These programs that help with housing and help with to get an apartment, they give you money for you to pay your apartment. They only want to help the ones that's using drugs and the ones that have a lot of mental problems, the ones that got mental problems, and the ones that mostly are looking for an apartment and stuff like that, and they're not really using. They don't really have a lot of mental problems and stuff like that. They're having problems because they don't want to help them. They want to help the ones that's in programs and stuff like that, that's using drugs and everything. They help them, to get an apartment. They help them to get things that they need and everything because they're using. And they say they're in a program, they stop using. And then once these programs get them these apartments and everything, they start using again and they mess up and they lose the apartment. And then they have mental problems. Once they help them get the apartment, they wind up having a crisis or something because they think about suicidal or homicidal thoughts, and they get a crisis, and then something happens to them. They wind up in the hospital or wind up in jail because they did something bad because of the crisis, because they got mental problems. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't have mental problems in Reading, PA. You know what I'm saying? It's just you have a lot of people from other towns that come down here and they know where these programs are at. You know what I'm saying? And they come from other towns, from Berks County. They come from different states and everything. They come over here, they get into these programs real quick because they did the program wherever they at. And then some of them are on parole. They're helping the ones that's in parole or probation. They help them first. You know what I'm saying? And, a lot of people come from all over, from different states and different towns and everything. And they start complaining about Reading. And they using these programs to get what they want. They want to get in apartments. They want to getting stuff that they need and everything because they use, they got mental problems. They say they got mental problems and all that shit. But they coming from different states and different towns and stuff like that. And then once they get what they want to trash Reading because they know it's a Spanish community. And us, mostly some of us Spanish people, when we try to get these helps and everything, we cannot get the help. You know what I'm saying? We cannot get the help because we live in Reading. We cannot get the help, and what they're doing is, or they come from another state or something. They go. All they gotta do is go to the mission, or go to these places that they help them get IDs, saying that they're a resident from Reading, PA, and they help them get IDs, saying that they're in Reading, PA, and some of these IDs they get them for free. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no money to help these people, but are you from Reading, PA? You don't get no help. You really don't get no help. Because Reading is really a Spanish community. So you really don't get no help. It's a Puerto Rican community, really. A Boricua community and the Spanish community. And we don't get no help. But these guys, they come from all different states and everything. From Georgia, Texas, Florida. They come from all different places and they get help. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to diss them. I'm just letting you know how it is. You know. Oh, are you from New York? You know, are you a New Yorker from New York City? You're not getting the help. You're gonna get problems. That's what you get is problem. A lot of people from Reading, Reading, PA, Berks County, and Pennsylvania, they really don't like really New Yorkers. I'm from New York and I've been having problems wherever. All these programs are trying to get help, even all over, man. I've been having problems, even in welfare, bro. Yeah, DSS, I've been having problems because I'm from New York. I'm a New Yorker. I talk like a New Yorker. You know what I'm saying, and everything, and I'm a New Yorker. I dress her like a New Yorker and everything. I take care of myself like a New Yorker. I take care of my hygienes and everything. And people get mad, they get jealous. They see that because they all fuck. You know, I don't know what's wrong with them. All they gotta do is take care of themselves. You know, and that's what I'm trying to do. Is just take care of my hygienes, take care of myself. You know, eat right and drink right. But anyway, just to let you know, man, that's what's going on in PA. They come from all over. A lot of blacks, a lot of whites, come from different states. They come from different towns. They come over here. They get the help. They already know where to go. They go to Sam's. You know what I'm saying? They go to 645 and Penn Street. It's a couple of agencies out here that they help out, but they want to help out people, the outsiders. You know what I'm saying? I've been here a long time, bro. I've been here since 2001, and I've been running room to room. I went to New York to try to get help, to see if I could go back to New York and get help in New York. I was having problems over there in New York City. I couldn't get no apartment. They only wanted to help people with family, people that got kids and all that, so I couldn't get no help. But that's what's going on in Reading, PA, that you got a lot of people from other states going to the Mission and Reading, PA, Berks County, and mostly all whites and mostly all blacks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying all of y'all like that. I'm just saying that some of y'all, that's what y'all doing. You know, and they trash us. They call us drug dealers. They think that, you know, we the bad guys. Spanish, mostly a lot of Spanish people. I understand that Spanish, a lot of Puerto Rican, a lot of Spanish people get arrested and everything. But it's not a whole bunch of us. But you know, Reading is a quiet town. It's a nice town. It's always quiet. There's mostly in the night you can walk around and nobody really bothers you in Reading, PA. The Spanish people, they don't really bother you. I came here with my family. Nobody bothered me. That's the one thing. But I have problem with the system. You know what I'm saying? Like getting help with an apartment and all that. They used to send me away. They used to help other people and everything. But what I'm trying to say is that they come from other places and they get this stuff straight. You know, these agencies, they help them get apartments in different towns and everything. And then, you know, and I've been living in Reading trying to get help, and I don't get nothing, bro. Like other people, there's people like me going through the same struggle, bro. You know, and the mayor, you know, he see most of all these buildings and everything they condemned and everything, and you know, and he don't do nothing. The city don't do nothing. They should just take over them, make apartments for low income people that live here. They trying to make everything expensive here. Apartment, they want like $1,200 for a 2-bedroom apartment. $1,600. They want a lot of money, bro. And this is most of all these apartments are condemned. They condemned. You look inside the apartment, they're broken down, and they want a lot of money. They want $1,100 for 1-bedroom apartment. They want money, like. And Reading, mostly all these buildings are condemned. And this place looks condemned. It's messed up, and they want a lot of money, bro. Everything they want to get expensive because it's a Spanish community. They trying to destroy us. I don't know why, bro. But a lot of people come from all over, bro. They get help, especially a lot of blacks, a lot of whites. They get help with everything in Reading. They go to these programs and they help them out. They help Spanish people too, Puerto Rican people too, and everything. But I'm just saying, bro. Mostly all of them coming from all over, bro. And then they want to come over here and trash us. Because they know it's a Spanish community. They want to call us that we all selling drugs, that we all doing it. Everybody's selling drugs. You got white people, you got black people selling drugs, you got people from other countries selling drugs. All over, bro. It's all over. It's no more are you trying to find a good neighborhood? You can't find a good neighborhood. No matter where you go, it's always going to be drugs. It's always going to be crime. There's always something that's always going to happen, no matter where you're trying to hide at. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you're trying to go, it's no good neighborhood. Even the billionaire neighborhood is getting bad. in the United States of America. So don't tell me nothing about that. Oh, I want to move to a good neighborhood. It's getting bad all over. You gotta do what you gotta do for yourself. And what I'm trying to say is these programs, they only want to help people that got mental problems, and they want to help people that's using drugs and everything. You know, they put them in a program, then they try to help them get an apartment and everything because they know, or they help them get an apartment, they help them get all this stuff to get themselves together and everything. They know they're going to mess up. They know they're going to wind up using drugs again. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to lose the apartment, and then they got to do it all over again, and they get more money from the government, from the taxpayers' money. They get more money because they know they're going to keep coming back. You know what I'm saying? They're going to keep coming back. And they go to these programs. For me, I think it's a waste of time, but they keep going to these programs, and it's not really helping. It only helps like 10% or 15% out of 100%. Even the mental people that have problems. I got a little bit of mental problem. I suffer a little bit of schizophrenic, but I try to get my life together. But I'm just letting you know that, you know, mostly some of the mental people with got mental issues, they have mental crisis, and they think suicidal and they think homicidal, and sometimes when they get their crisis, they wind up doing crazy stuff. And they get arrested, or they go back to the hospital and they lose the apartment. So it's another recycle. It's a repeat again. They wind up losing their apartment, and then they gotta do it all over again so they could get another apartment to lose the apartment again. That's what's going on. You know, and they're getting taxpayers' money, you know, to help people to get an apartment, no matter who they are. It could be a sober person, a person that's using drugs, or a person that got mental problems. It's not only for the people that you want. You know, you're using taxpayers' money. You're taking money from the government because you know them people, they're going to lose the apartment because they're going to keep using. And you know them people got mental problems, and they're going to have crisis, and they're going to lose the stuff that they got. And then they got to do it all over again. Once they get out the hospital, once they get out the program. And then they got to keep doing it again. And be like 4 or 5 times, 6 times, 10 times that it be a repeat. And somebody that's trying to hold on to an apartment that got mental, I got a little mental problem, but somebody that's trying to hold an apartment, you know what I'm saying, or trying to get a place to live and don't really have drug habits. You know, they probably smoke a little bit of weed and smoke cigarettes, or probably they don't do nothing. They're having problems getting an apartment. But you want to help the ones that's going to keep repeating themselves. That's what I'm just saying. You know, in the mission too, you got to be careful when you go to the mission, because they mostly help only whites. And in Redding, PA, Berks County, they mostly help a lot of whites and a lot of blacks. And I tell you, they talk about us Spanish people over there, mostly some of them that they say that a lot of bad things about us, and it's not true. That Redding, PA, no. Y'all the ones that's doing the damage in Redding, PA. That's what I gotta tell you about Redding. Even the cops, bro. You know, you got some cops that they racial, bro. They don't like Spanish people. They say we the messed up one. You know, some of us are bad. You know, we do crime. You know, you got a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of Spanish people that do crime, but not a whole bunch of us in Redding. And Redding is mostly quiet. It's a quiet town, bro. You know, it's a quiet place, and they just come from, you know, different states, and they come from different towns, you know what I'm saying, different boroughs, and they come over here messing around, bro. You know, they feel like they blacks or they whites and shit, that they could, you know what I'm saying, you know, they could do what they want, and you gotta be scared of them, or you gotta do. No, I'm an American Puerto Rican. I'm just like you. Everything you could do, I could do too. In the United States of America, I am a citizen. My people died to fight for this country too, for freedom. My people suffer just like the black man did. We suffer too. You know what I'm saying? And everything. And just because you did slavery and everything doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying, that you own everything. because us Puerto Ricans, we suffered too. And I understand that, some black people, went through a lot of struggle with Puerto Ricans, Boricuas and shit like that. And a lot of Boricuas love y'all and everything, but y'all gotta respect us too, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. A lot of whites too, bro. We struggle just like the black man too, and we the one that getting shit on. And I'm not trying to diss, bro. They always got something to say about a Puerto Rican or Boricua. You know what I'm saying? And we are citizens of the United States of America, and that's what I'm trying to let you know. We got freedom in this country. We died. You know what I'm saying? For y'all to have freedom too. When y'all went to war, we went to war, and a lot of us died for this country, for the United States of America. We got killed to help to fight for freedom for other countries not to come here and control this country. We helped y'all too. Since World War One. You know what I'm saying? So, don't come up with that. What they do, they try to brainwash most of us Puerto Ricans and, try to confuse our mind. But you're not confusing this Puerto Rican. I'm a United States citizen. I was born in New York City. And all I'm getting is from everywhere I go is a hard time, bro. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of my people died in this country to help y'all. To help United States of America. But y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't care, but it's alright, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, bro, a lot of us don't be using, a lot of us don't have a lot of mental problems. We need help with apartments too. And the mayor don't want to do nothing. He don't want to fix your Reading up. He don't want to do nothing for Reading. All he want to do is collect the taxpayers' money, saying that they're gonna fix Reading, and they don't fix nothing. You see them fix a little bit of stuff, but they don't really fix nothing. The sidewalls are messed up. Everything's messed up over here. They don't even have inspectors to check the buildings. There's none of that shit. So almost all these houses are condemned, and they renting them. They want a lot of money. Nobody want to do nothing. Because they know some of us, we come from New York, and we try and get an apartment, and all we get is fucked up shit. And then we got to pay a lot of money for places that's not even worth it. And then they try to kick you out. The judges in their side. They want to take the landlord's side. And the landlord's a slub landlord. He don't want to fix nothing. Mostly all these people, they got agencies that got all these houses, and they don't even fix nothing, bro. And they want to kick you out. You start complaining and everything. The judge is in their side. And I know it's a commonwealth, but you're getting taxpayers' money to help people, to get them off the street. And all you're doing is making people that's trying to do good things, suffer more. And helping the ones that's using and all that. You want to help people that's on parole and probation, and you want to help people that's using drugs and people that got mental problems, and all you see is a recycle. They repeat the same shit. And the one that's trying to stay out of trouble gotta suffer because y'all don't want to help. That's what I could tell you. One love for you. I'm gonna let you go with that one. I'll see you later, alligator. I'll see you later, crocodile. One love for you, Doc. Love y'all for life. Make sure you get something to eat or something to drink. You don't have nothing, ask somebody. Somebody might give you something to eat or something to drink. I might give you some money and change down the way. I might give you a job for a couple of hours for you to get something to eat, something to drink, or maybe get something for yourself. Just to let you know. One, bro. I'll see you later, bro. I'm just letting you know what's going on with Reading. One love for you. With Reading, PA, Berks County. That's what's going on. A lot of people don't like us Puerto Ricans, bro. I'm not saying a lot of but you gotta be careful. You got a lot of racial people out here, bro. I want love for you, bro. And they trying to shit on us because this is a Spanish community. That's all I'm saying. You can believe me or not. You can believe a black man like you always do. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you later. I don't hate black people. I got a lot of friends. I got a lot of people. I'm just saying some of y'all like that. Y'all racial too, bro. One love for you.